inspiration. And if it's not one of the three, I don't want it. Let's go ahead and start getting our mentality in a place where we start to embrace our ability, where we start to open up inside of who we are. We start doing energy readings. We start putting ourselves in a place where we utilize our mentalities, our focus. To all those networks, subscribe, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Periscope, Twitter, as well as on the podcast now, Motivation, Meditation, Inspiration .yoga. And so in that place, we got to start asking ourselves how to utilize what we have inside in a positive way, how to put ourselves in a place where we start to vibrate with a mentality of positivity, and where we start to recognize and truly start to work on our own challenges, where we truly start to recognize that our vibration matters. Directly, our own vibration matters, our own ability to be who we are on the inside. That when we're vibrating with a mentality to where we start to open up ourselves, and a lot of times we find ourselves letting our vibrations off on other people. And when we start to recognize that our own vibration is a great thing, that our own being, that our own purpose is a great thing, then we start looking at ourselves. We start looking at how we can make improvements within who we are, how we can start to focus to the ability where we start to use our mentality in a positive way. And sometimes you have to see from more than one angle. Sometimes you truly have to sit down and start to examine your own mentality. Sometimes challenges that you might be facing off against, they're only yours. And the people that are around you are there to just embrace you. And, a lot of times we get caught up in honestly looking for it in other places instead of inside of ourselves. And so how do we start focusing to the point where we uplift other people with our mentalities, where our abilities inside of ourselves sees the positivity and gives us the ability to have the understanding that just like we do, other people have challenges as well too. Okay, so when we focus to that point where we focus on our own journey and we start focusing on our own path, that's when people start to want to join you on your journey, to be honest. It's when you're finding joy in your life that they want to be a part of your life. It's when your mentality, your ability to achieve and overcome your own obstacles allows them to be motivated. And so every day I ask this question, is what I'm doing today, is it motivation? Is it meditation? Is it inspiration? If it's not one of the three, I don't want it. And so the reason why I ask that question every day, and I could promise you, if you ask yourself that question every day, is because the direction in which I'm going, the direction in which I'm looking at the future and the vibration within, comes from mentality. It comes from the ability inside of ourselves to see that we are worth it. And it's not to somebody else. It's to work through our own challenges on our own. And to find people that embrace us in that way and give us the ability to have that kind of mentality to where we have the ability to overcome our challenges. And it's interesting because on the other side of that is when people start to see you as a gift. On the other side of that is when people start to see you with who you are inside. And, a lot of people might not recognize you because of the person that you're becoming. And that's them to not truly know who you are on the inside. Because when you're going through challenges, when you're picking yourself up, when you're putting yourself in a place where, you might not want to do this thing, but you got to do this thing, and you want to overcome it, the only person, nobody on the face of the planet can do it for you but you. And so when we start to recognize that ability inside of ourselves, to where we start to focus past the challenges, we start to see the ability to vibrate with such a light that is unignorable, then you start attracting things to you. Then people that want to be a part of your life start to show up. And it's realizing that opens you up to it. It's realizing that there is light already within. That when you get down with the challenges that you're facing off inside, I look at some of these challenges and some of these things that I passed in the last few years or even decades, and I look at how I drag my feet before to understand this. Okay? That sometimes people are not going to be the same way as other people. That just sometimes they might just be going through their own challenges. They might truly be going through things, and that it's okay. And that we all go through challenges. And when you're in a downtime, that's when the people who want you to become uplifted show up. When everything is going against you is when you choose to become positive. It's when you don't see a way out, and then you see a light show up. It's when you start to want to do things to bring yourself closer to the things that bring positivity into your life, that you start seeking after your own journey. And those people that want to be a part of that, they'll start joining it on their own. You ain't got to fight nothing. There ain't nothing you got to hold on to. They're going to want to be with you. Their hearts are going to already see it. They're going to see it inside of themselves. What's different about you from other people? It's when they're with other people that they recognize the difference between you and others. It's when you're focused to the point where you're utilizing your gifts, your God-given talents. You're so focused to the point where you're going to achieve things, and if there isn't a way, you're going to make a way. And so that's when the universe starts to yield. It starts to recognize that, maybe those people might have just been a little bit rough on you because of things that they're going through inside of themselves. And it ain't even your fault. That's the greatest part. It ain't even your fault. So let's go ahead and start getting down with this focus game. Let's get down with this ability. Let's get this up pace. Let's get this back on this positive track. Let's put it in such a place that we start to allow the mentality to take mold, to take shape, to start to focus on our own paths and our own journeys. And they know who they are out there. They know who they are, and they know how gifted they are. They know how gifted, you are. And it's through growth and focusing to that point that just maybe you might have been a little bit rough on certain people, And you might face that in your environments, your homes, your professions, your fields of work. You might face that kind of thing where you recognize that, man, I'm looking at it. I'm seeing it. And I'm focusing past those kinds of challenges, starting to embrace this thing. This thing right here has been through a journey. You've been through a path. You're on a path, most definitely. And you need people that are going to bring you closer to yourself, that are going to uplift you, and that start to see positivity inside of you. And I'm focusing to that point where I start to recognize that, where, maybe the things of the past that, other people might have caused or done or, or aren't the way things are anymore. There's much more beautiful things in this world. There's much more beautiful things in this understanding that just sometimes they really just want to enjoy you and, want you in their companionship in such a way that the mentality starts to open up. And that's the reason why they want you around them. That's why they want you with them. And so let's get down with that grind. Let's continue focusing on ourselves and how we can start putting it into a positive place. How much joy it brings to know that we're sons and daughters of the Most High, and that we can utilize your mentality, that you can utilize your ability, that what you go through on a daily basis you can overcome. And so as we focus through our challenges, as we put ourselves on that kind of page where what we're utilizing inside is coming from our mentality, and what we're utilizing inside comes from our ability, and what we're utilizing inside lights up in the world. So when we focus to the point where what we have inside is greatness, it won't be because of somebody else. The people that are going to be around of us, they're going to benefit by being around you. And they're going to benefit from your ability to journal, your ability to focus to the point where you achieve your dreams. And sometimes it's a reminder that that's the reason why people want to be with you. They want to be around you, is because of your mentality. And each of us have one of those. Each of us have a place inside of ourselves, a set of dreams, a set of goals. But it's the mentality that embraces the ability for it to come out. It's when you continue doing things even when it's not working. It's when you continue doing things when you don't see the upside of it. It's when you continue doing things and your ability inside starts to open up. And that's what I got here going on. I'm looking at those people that want the same thing. They want that same place. And this is that guy that they sat down and did meditation with, showing up. This is that one that's set aside different because that's what it is. And this path that I'm on, this journey, has a purpose. We all deserve it. Each of us on the face of the planet deserve to light up in this world. We deserve to focus to the point where we manifest. Focus to the point where we utilize. Focus to the point where the mentality shows up. And I'm telling you, it ain't gonna happen the same way, because I recognize one thing. This guy grows. This guy right here puts something down, and then it happens. And I know that what we believe in ourselves, we can achieve. I know that what you believe in yourself, you can overcome for you. Not for anybody else. Not for me, not for anybody else. If you want to be around this, if you want to be with this, if you want to enjoy company with this, you got to care about you first. And when you start to see that light shine up, you start to see that being inside of yourself shine up, you want to be a part of this club, motivation, meditation, inspiration, that's what we talk about daily. We talk about what kept me alive in a time when I would have been dead, when I was so down that I had nothing. That's the power of mentality. That's the power within oneself. That's the power within one's being. And that is the power within one's purpose. When we start to see our journey, our path, when we start to ask ourselves, possibly, can I see how this is starting to become a part of my journey? Can I start to see these kind of pages on my path? Have I asked myself, where does this fit in? And recognizing at that level where your mentality is so strong that you believe in yourself and that the things that are not meant for you move out of the way on their own, that you're able to uplift people. And it's not just from other people that I mean these things move out of the way. I mean the way you treat people better. I mean the way you care for people better. I mean the way you express yourself better. You gotta let what happened in the past stay in the past. Because on this journey, it's a one-way street forward. It's a way in which we overcome challenges. It's a way in which we put ourselves to a place where the heat no longer has the ability to stop us. And I recognize not everybody can do that. Not everybody can achieve that. That doesn't mean they can't strive to. It doesn't mean that they don't light up. It doesn't mean that they don't have the ability to overcome challenges. It just means they need a little push, a little, spark, a little light inside of themselves to just start happening. To just start grinding just a little bit, just a little push. We'll send somebody to a gym who will then send somebody to feel better about themselves, who will then send somebody to want to grow inside for themselves. And that kind of focus, where you become conscientious of your diets, your mentalities, your abilities, those are enabling things. And it's when you're doing that that you start to feel the world light up around you. And that is when God shows up, my friends. When we put the creator of the universe first in our lives, our healths become, our purposes become, our paths become, and our journeys become. It's not about judgment. You already know what's going on inside of yourself. You already know what you got to face off against. You already know what you want to overcome and what you want to achieve and what your dreams are. When do you allow those things to no longer affect the way you move forward? And When do you start to put yourself on a page where you're using your being to that point? See what I'm saying? That's what I recognize being by myself. I enjoy it because I realize that certain people don't deserve what past did, and neither do I. Neither do I. They deserve to be treated like lights. They deserve to be treated with respect and care. And I'm looking at this. I'm sitting here grinding away on this, in this part, looking at how it can become positive to have that move forward. And you gotta allow people to be themselves. That's how you build trust in each other. By saying, I know people in the past, they might not have treated me well. What's the true intention inside of this person? What's their true nature, their true essence, their true being, their true light? When they might be just going through challenges just as hard as your own. And it brings me joy that you can be there for them. You can uplift people with your level of focus. You can uplift people with your being and your vibration and their ability to just be with you or around you. And that's why focusing is so important, because what we write down, later we get to see what path do we want to be on. What part of ourselves do we want to open up to where the universe can use those blessings? What part of ourselves do we want to overcome? Where is what dreams do you want to have? What part of your vibration are you seeking to uplift? What part of your, and that's what really got down to me. Can I see these kind of people on my path? And the minute I look at that and I say, yeah, actually maybe I can. See, I'm not looking at just today. I'm not looking at just tomorrow. I'm looking at, is this a positive person in my life? Is this person going to be there on the other side? Are they going to be a part of this team? This mentality that where my journey is headed? See, a lot of people don't think to that level. They don't want you to succeed in your professions. They don't want you to succeed in your relationships. They don't want you to succeed in your homes, your families, and your relationship with the Most High God. You know what this is all about? This is about your professions, your relationships, your mentality, your being, your purpose, and your level of focus to where the Most High God can use you. And it's interesting because the people that are becoming close to me, that are wanting to be a part of this tribe, this spiritual family, this connection that took me being nearly brought to my knees, they know exactly what I'm talking about. When they're listening to these messages, they're hearing these things, they're hearing these struggles, they're hearing these challenges, they're hearing a level of focus And if you aren't, get connected with this group. Motivation, meditation, inspiration.yoga. Discipline 101 Facebook group, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, podcast, because we're going somewhere together. I'm taking you guys with me on this journey. I'm taking you guys with me on this path. And it's not stopping. One day, I'll be in a town near you. I'll be talking to people about this. People will be sitting down asking questions. They're going to be asking how. One day you might find me in your town doing meditation or an event. You might find me, uplifting people in ways that, you didn't think were possible. That's where this is headed, my friends. Where are you headed? Ask yourself that question. What path, what journey, where is what you're doing going to bring you? What is it going to bring you towards? What is it going to bring you to become? I could tell you one thing it will: stronger. When you see your goals, your path, and your journey in your place, when you start to see that, that's when you gain the strength to overcome your challenges. When you overcome your challenges for yourself and you start to put trust in you, hearing what I'm saying? Not somebody else, inside of yourself. That's when people start to want to have that with you. They want to uplift you. They want to be with you in their presence. And that is where I strive to be every day, inside of myself, inside of this presence. I think one of the biggest mistakes that people do is drown themselves out from being the human being that they are inside. The expression inside of oneself is such a beautiful thing that it's an amazing thing to see it light up, to start to remember, to start to have mental clarity, to start to have purpose and a journey and a path. Gives one the ability to understand that they can do it. And yeah, there's going to be handicaps. And yes, there's going to be limitations. And yes, you're going to have to work around barriers and find ways to make it up walls that you didn't think were possible. But if you do make it up those walls, if you do have that kind of determination, if you have that kind of mentality, if you have that kind of place inside of yourself where you start to recognize that, then maybe you might be able to allow the things of your past to no longer affect you. I once said that people learn walls, but yet they can unlearn walls as well. It took me a long time to understand that. It took me a long time to get to that point. It took me a long time to get to that level of mentality, to where it's about our own journey, where we put ourselves on a page where we start to believe in ourselves. That's what this crew is about: motivation, meditation, and inspiration. And it's when we're on that path, that it starts to open up. It's when you're put in that dark place and you start picking yourself up for you. That's when the victories start to happen. When you are starting to pick yourself up for you, you're starting to see that, man, these ways have the ability to open up inside of myself, that those things, I no longer need those things in my life. And you know what happens when you start focusing to that level? People start saying, you changed. And it's when you are being so much yourself that other people don't even recognize you, that you know that you're on the right page because your level of focus is such that the reflection is that of motivation. Now, let's go ahead and start talking about the second part of this talk. I've been doing meditation for quite a long time. I've been doing meditation through quite different challenges. I have many stories to share. I have many things to say. And I know this person inside named Marcel. Do you know you? Do you know your ability? Do you know yourself to the point where you can sit down and study you? Where you can sit down to be inside of the classroom, inside of you? Where you can see the people that come even days, weeks, years later, and the thank yous that come from you expressing yourself. And you know what? It's when everybody turns their back on you that you find yourself. Once you break down to that level, okay, where I have slept in my van for 2 months, did meditation in a sauna, broke 5 hours being in the sauna, walked in and out for an additional 3 hours. Okay, they said it's humanly impossible to bypass an hour or two inside of a sauna. Okay, when the heat inside is greater than what's going on the outside, you have the ability to overcome your challenges. Okay, when you're sitting inside of yourself to the point where other people see you light up, when you sit inside and you study to that level where you connect your mentality with your knowledge inside of who you are, that gives you the ability to believe in yourself. That gives you the ability to love yourself. And at that level, you have no one else to compare to but yourself. So when you're going through challenges, my friends, when you're going through things that you might feel like it, you got to look at the root source. Are you becoming a student in your life? Are you learning from your karmic circles, okay, on how to work through them and to overcome them? See, this time that I've sat down here, that I've been spending the last few days grinding on me, it's making me a greater person. Those people are becoming more inspired to want to be around me because they're recognizing that what I got inside is something that is special. And I'm telling you, you each have that. But you got to want it for yourselves. You got to want to sit down and study and to shut the doors off and to allow yourself to have the space inside of who you are, to where even the energy inside has a vibration. And look at the word energy, for instance. The word similar to that is emotion. Energy and motion, connecting with the red energy fields, the yellow, the orange, the purple, the green, the blue, and the understanding in the universe. See, that is what we're seeking after, my friends. We're seeking after self-understanding, self-purpose, self-path. And that's when other people start to see you as a reflection of meditation. And don't tell me you haven't seen people who have become the best guitarists, the best singers, writers, authors, speakers, because they reached that place. And I'm telling you, you can too. You can too, but you got to get to that place where that knowledge, that seed inside of yourself starts to have patience. It starts to have a purpose. It starts to give you the ability to believe in your dreams, and to believe in your goals, and to believe in yourself. See, self-honesty is the hardest trait to work with, because as soon as you sit down with you and you truly start to open up to yourself, and you truly start to open up to your being within you, when you truly start to light up to that level where you understand you, Mr. Teacher inside of you starts to open up and say, you got it. You can do this. You can believe in yourself to that level. You can believe in yourself with that part of your being, with that part of your purpose, with that part of your journey. I'm going to go ahead and end this video, and I'm going to go ahead and get back online here. If you guys want to connect, YouTube, Facebook, Periscope, Twitter, you can hit those subscribe buttons and those likes, and you will hear my videos. I try to do a video just about every day. I'm working on getting them every single day out there for you. I'm going to continue talking about meditation a little bit here in a few minutes, and then I'm going to talk about some inspiration. We're going to get some inspiration going on this beautiful Sunday. Bless you all. I'll be right back.